Hello, I haven't done a teaching video in a little bit, so I figured I would jump on today and do one. If you are just tuning in and you haven't seen my videos before, my name is Ashley Otori. I am an author and a professor for the order. I also am the owner of Seventh Witch House, and I am also about to be a doctor. I'll have my PhD in psychology very soon, and then I'll enter med school for psychiatry and have an MD as well. But very excited about that. As I said, I am a professor of demonic magic, and I have a passion for merging psychology and science with magic and the unseen. My aim is to take a lot of the stigma away from the subject of demons and demonic magic and break down the walls that separate people from trying it and that keep people just away. There's plenty enough propaganda and negative media influence regarding demons and a lot of falsehoods out there that are spread around. So I hope my videos help bring some light and introspection into that field, and I hope that I can also help people with inner healing and with situational conflict, dealing with life's ebbs and flows with demonic magic. So today we're going to talk about the subject of peace feeling like hell. So a lot of times when people enter the realm of demonic magic, when they come in, it's oftentimes out of a place of desperation, and when they come as last resort, usually means that their life is in somewhat of an upheaval or turmoil. So the Order of Dark Arts Facebook group tends to be very much of a place of camaraderie and support and love and advice, in a place where they can ask questions, interact, and see in real time people's results from doing demonic magic, which is, it's terrific. It's absolutely one of its kind. When somebody new enters demonic magic who has lived with a life in turmoil or upheaval, and if they do their rituals right, typically they will find that they get results extraordinarily fast, and oftentimes it's shocking. But one of the more interesting phenomena that happen is afterwards there will be questions of, well, why do I feel off? Why do I feel restless? Why do I feel strange? Why shouldn't I feel good after I got this issue resolved? And the answer to that is more psychology based than magic based. Many times people will go through their lives with a heavy issue and try all forms of healing it or solving it, and they'll read all the books, they'll listen to the podcast, they'll read this, they'll read the self-help books, they'll read the articles, and so on and so forth. But a lot of times it doesn't actually solve the problem, right? Well, if somebody has had their problem solved by demonic magic, it's usually a surprise. And if you've lived long enough in that turmoil, then your nervous system has gotten very used to living in survival mode. It's always on defense, and it is always, your senses are always heightened. You never feel energized. You could take a nap and still be tired. And after that problem is solved, suddenly you're not being drained anymore. Suddenly you are not being taxed. Suddenly you're not being stressed out by this issue anymore, right? So you have all of this energy that was normally daily pent up and built up and stored by your nervous system, and now it has nowhere to go. It's expecting to happen again, but when it doesn't, it can make you feel very restless. It can make you feel very anxious. It can make you sometimes have panic attacks, which is going to be based on your own biology. These situations have nothing to do with magic. It's more or less a time of readjustment for your nervous system. It needs to get used to the idea of being in peace. It needs to get used to the idea of not being in constant fight or flight. And it's a process. So, like I said, right after getting what you want in demonic magic, oftentimes the peace that comes afterwards can feel like hell. But this is a physical issue. It's a biological issue. It's not magic blowback. It's not always interference. It's not necessarily somebody waging occult warfare with you. It's the anxiety that comes from having a problem solved because you're used to being on defense. And so, like I said, peace after the resolve of an issue will feel like hell. If you are used to living in depression because of this issue, peace will feel pretty awful. It'll be hard to adjust to, but don't feed into that anxiety and create problems for yourself. Don't be looking for additional problems. Don't be seeking out things to hex just for the sake of it or jumping into other people's issues to subside that anxiety. Sit there and deal with the uncomfortable feelings and let your body get used to a new baseline of peace. Like I said, it's biological. It's not blowback. Typically, it's not occult warfare. There's really is no magic that can go against this. So, walk in confidence, walk in peace, and I will see you around. If you have any questions, leave them down below.